Hello, Crown Crunchers. Harry and Megs are getting slammed by Hollywood elite from all angles. How much more can they take? We know that Megs is desperate to continually be in the spotlight and, more importantly, to be invited into the inner circle of the Hollywood elite. But it hasn't happened, and what's worse, they have just become the butt of all jokes in the US. Everyone is taking a shot at them. This has got to be denting the ego a little. To sum up the list of disasters that they have recently had, first of all, they were slammed on SNL, Saturday Night Live. Then they were slammed by Jimmy Kimmel, slammed by Chris Rock in his Netflix comedy special, which would feel like there should be some sort of alliance between Netflix and Meghan and Harry because of their Netflix docu-series. But no, Chris Rock slammed them and it was hilarious.
She's complaining. I'm like, what the is she talking about? Oprah, they're so racist.
Then, of course, they were notably not at the Oscars. They did not get invited to the Oscars. They did not get invited to Oprah's birthday party. Oprah, who did the famous interview releasing multiple bombshells of information about the royals. Not to mention, they were not even invited to Elton John's annual Oscar charity party, which he hosts. Elton John, who was a close friend to Princess Diana, even sang at her funeral, used to be really close to Harry, but they were not at his party. This probably is due to the recent jet plane drama, which we will get into in a different episode. And finally, the big one, the mother of all roasts, the South Park episode about their worldwide privacy tour, which was brilliant.
We want privacy! We want privacy!
All of these things have happened in a relatively short space of time, and this has to be a reality check for both of them. The British media saw through their phony poor me act pretty quickly, so escaping to America for sanctuary was their solution. But has this backfired? Is the American media starting to see them for what they really are? They told their sob story on Netflix, their truth, and then Harry divulged even more in his tell-all / way too much information book, but it still isn't winning over the fans. The truth is, nobody cares about your privacy when you have the capacity to make a Netflix documentary about your lives. Nobody cares about your humanitarian work for the homeless women of New York when you go to help them dressed head to toe wearing Valentino and carrying a £5,000 Chanel bag.
Stupid is, stupid does, Mrs. Blue.
And nobody cares about your cold little todger when you have the luxury to travel to the North Pole on a private jet. They are too unrelatable for the general public and too ungrateful for the Hollywood elite. The thing is, they have had so many opportunities to win back some favour. If they had just come out and said that they thought the South Park episode was funny, then I would immediately like them a little bit more. If they could just take themselves less seriously, laugh at themselves for once instead of being the victims of everything. Let's get to the comments. Lisa said, just like the royal family, Hollywood doesn't want to be around them. Who knows what part of their conversation or imagined conversation will end up in another book / podcast / interview. You can imagine how nervous anyone who was around Meghan and Harry is at the minute. Why they were actually thrown out of a government building because they were wired for their Netflix TV series. So after that, you can't really trust them anymore. Liz said Elton John and Princess Diana besties, and Harry didn't get an invite. And we know there's a reason for that. We will get into that in the next episode about the jet, etc. JKL said, so many of the top designers are banning Megs from wearing their designs. For one, is that she always looks awful in them, and probably because they don't like her. It has been said that she is rather unlikable. If you look at the recent Rebel Wilson conversation that she had, she met Harry and Meghan with her mum, and she said instantly Harry was very warm and likable. The same could not be said for Meghan. For whatever reason, she's giving off not the best vibe. G.H. Evans says Meghan and Harry have entirely brought this upon themselves. Don't dish it out if you can't take it. This is the golden rule for everyone. Everyone should follow this rule, really. If you can't take it, don't dish it out. Lou Chat said Harry has been protected and coddled all his life. Not anymore. He is open game. He is open game. And that's why we're all having such fun with it. But not only that, it's because he's open game and he's making an absolute twit of himself over and over and over again. And I'm loving it. Stell says the jokes and teasing is just now beginning. It's only going to get worse as Harry keeps opening his mouth. that's probably some good advice, actually. I hope Harry reads this, because pretty much every time he opens his mouth, there is some sort of disaster that happens. Linda says, the Markles have made themselves the butt of all jokes. They have kind of positioned themselves as the butt of all jokes. Probably not intentionally, but the butt they are. Thank you for listening again. Please subscribe to our channel if you like what you hear. It tells us that we are going in the right direction and we are telling you what you want to hear. But if you are feeling like you've got something extra spicy, extra juicy to say, then pop it down in the comments. I absolutely love reading your comments. That's it for today. See you next time. Goodbye.